You say yes when every part of you is screaming no. You agree to things that drain you, diminish you, leave you hollow. And afterward, alone in the quiet, you wonder why you can't just speak the truth, why you can't protect yourself, why the word no feels like a betrayal you can't commit. This isn't weakness. This is survival. And it started long before you realized what you were doing. Somewhere in your childhood, you learned that your needs were negotiable, that love was conditional, that safety required you to shrink, to please, to become whatever others needed you to be. Maybe you had a parent who withdrew affection when you disappointed them. Maybe anger in your home was unpredictable, explosive, and you learned that keeping the peace meant erasing yourself. Maybe you were praised for being easy, for not causing trouble, for always saying yes. And so you became the child who didn't ask for much, who smiled when they wanted to cry, who carried the emotional weight of adults because it felt safer than being honest. You learned that your worth was tied to your usefulness, that being wanted meant being convenient, that saying no meant being abandoned. And you couldn't risk that. Not then, not when you were small and the world felt so big and you needed them to stay. So you swallowed your truth. You turned your anger inward. You became the person who bends, who adapts, who never rocks a boat. And it worked for a while. You were loved for being easy. You were praised for being selfless. But inside, something was breaking. Because every time you said yes when you meant no, you were telling yourself that your feelings didn't matter, that your boundaries were optional, that other people's comfort was more important than your own integrity. And now, as an adult, you carry that pattern like a second skin. You overcommit. You exhaust yourself. You feel resentment bubbling beneath every forced smile, every favor you didn't want to do, every plan you agreed to because you couldn't bear the discomfort of declining. You feel guilty for wanting space. You feel selfish for prioritizing your own needs. You apologize for things that aren't your fault, for taking up space, for existing in ways that might inconvenience someone else. And the worst part? You don't even know what you want anymore, because you spent so long orienting yourself around other people's desires that your own have become background noise. Faint, distant, easy to ignore. Psychologically, this is a fawn response. A trauma adaptation where you learn that appeasing others kept you safe. It's a nervous system strategy born from environments where boundaries were punished, where emotional expression was dangerous, where your survival depended on reading the room and becoming whatever it needed. It's people-pleasing, but it's deeper than that. It's a belief system, a core wound that says, I am only lovable when I am convenient. I am only safe when I am small. I am only worthy when I am useful. And so you live in a state of chronic self-abandonment. You prioritize everyone else's comfort while your own needs starve in silence. You say yes to things that deplete you because saying no feels like a moral failure, like cruelty, like something only selfish people do. But here's what you don't realize. Every time you say yes when you mean no, you're betraying yourself. You're teaching the people around you that your boundaries don't exist, that your time, your energy, your emotional capacity are always available. And over time, this builds resentment, not just toward them, but toward yourself. Because deep down, you know you're complicit in your own exhaustion. You know you're choosing their approval over your own peace. And that knowledge sits heavy in your chest, a quiet shame you can't quite name. You attract people who take, who expect, who don't ask if you're okay because you've never given them a reason to wonder. You become the friend who always shows up, the partner who always compromises, the co-worker who always picks up the slack. And when you finally break, when the resentment spills over and you snap or withdraw, people are confused. Because to them, you were fine. You never said anything. You never set a boundary. So how are they supposed to know? But you do know. You know you're drowning. You just don't believe you're allowed to ask for help. The hidden wound beneath all of this is a belief that your needs are too much, that if people knew what you really wanted, what you really felt, they'd leave, that your authentic self, the one with desires and limits and preferences, is unlovable. So you perform, you shapeshift, you become a mirror, reflecting back whatever makes others comfortable. And in doing so, you lose yourself. You become a stranger to your own life. Here's the truth you need to hear. Saying no is not selfish. It's self-respect. Boundaries are not walls that keep love out. They're foundations that keep love sustainable. When you say yes to things you don't want, you're not being kind. You're being dishonest. You're teaching people that your words don't mean anything. That your yes doesn't actually mean yes, because it's given out of fear, not choice. And that's not intimacy. That's performance. Real connection requires honesty. It requires you to show up as you are, with your limits, your needs, your truth. And yes, some people will be disappointed. Some will push back. Some will leave. But those were never your people. Your people are the ones who respect your boundaries, who don't need you to shrink to feel comfortable, who want you whole, not convenient. Healing starts with noticing the pattern, noticing the discomfort in your body when you're about to say yes but want to say no, noticing the tightness in your chest, the quick agreement that bypasses your true feelings. Start small. Say no to something low stakes. Decline an invitation. Set a small boundary. Sit with the discomfort that follows, because it will be uncomfortable. Your nervous system will panic. It will tell you you're in danger, that you ruined everything, that people are angry. But that's the old wiring. That's the child in you who believed that saying no meant being abandoned. You're not that child anymore. You're an adult with agency, with choices, with the right to take up space. Practice saying, I need to think about it. That doesn't work for me. I'm not available. No explanation. No apology. Just truth. Reparent yourself. Tell the part of you that learned to say yes to everything. You are safe now. You are allowed to have needs. You are worthy even when you're not useful. Your worth is not conditional. Start listening to yourself again. What do you actually want? What lights you up? What drains you? What do you keep agreeing to out of obligation, not desire? Your life is yours, not a favor you owe to everyone else, not a performance you must perfect to earn love. Yours, and it's okay to protect it. It's okay to guard your time, your energy, your peace. It's okay to prioritize yourself without guilt, because the people who truly love you don't want your exhausted compliance. They want your authentic presence. And that can only come when you stop betraying yourself to keep them comfortable. You are not too much. Your needs are not a burden. Your no is not a rejection of others. It's an affirmation of yourself. And that's not selfish. That's sacred. You deserve relationships where you don't have to shrink, where your truth is welcome, where your boundaries are respected. And it starts with you respecting them first. So the next time you feel that pull to say yes when you mean no, pause, breathe, feel the discomfort, and choose yourself anyway. Not because it's easy, but because you're finally ready to stop abandoning the one person who's been with you all along. You,